Saying sorry to give it and then it's quite rare to stop there.
Cheers, we'll do the usual drill, TVs, then we'll go next door, dismantle, then we'll come back with press.
Aitor, you got off to a good start to the season. You've had the international break. Did it come at the wrong time, and how important is it to pick up momentum again and go again this weekend?
I think it was the right moment because we knew. So this season we are lucky because we have a lot of players in the national team. So it means that we are doing good things here, and those weeks for me have been really good because now we can put again our feet on the floor because again we've started really well the season, but we shouldn't get carried away because we know how difficult this league is.
So, the transfer window has now closed. Are you happy with the business that was done during the window and with the composition of your squad?
Yes, I was really pleased, but not just at the end, because I said always that my experience the first 2 years here was crucial to try to do everything as soon as possible this season, because in Championship we had the time and we had the squad to recover the points that we could lose at the beginning of the season, but in Premier League it was going to be really difficult. So for that reason I was really pleased since the first moment. The first meeting we had was 3 or 4 days after getting promotion last season. So we went to Spain almost with all the players with us, and it means that the club has worked really well.
Callum Chambers went to Arsenal as a young player with a big reputation. Are you confident you can get the best out of him here, and what have you seen in particular in him?
I hope, because I always try to take the best from every single player, and they said that sometimes in the market you can find bargains, and we were waiting till the end because, as I said, the squad was almost complete, and we were waiting for the right player, and Callum ticks all the boxes, and he can play in different positions. He's a really good player, he's a good kid, so it was really important for us in the last moment, and for sure he's going to be important in this club.
Will he be involved this weekend?
I hope, yes, and I have a nice problem because I have 24 players ready to play, so I have to choose, but I think he can be.
In terms of your squad now, it's such a strong squad. Does that give you a few selection headaches?
Yes, and it's nice. It's my job. I'm really pleased when I prefer to arrive to my desk tomorrow with this kind of headaches than to arrive and just have 10 or 12 players. So it's a nice problem, and the best thing is that all of them have trained really well. The players who played the first 3 or 4 games, their attitude was really good, and I am really pleased, especially because we've changed a few players, and the spirit of the team is the same, the attitude of everybody is the same, so I'm really pleased.
What have you made of Crystal Palace so far this season, and how important is the home form going to be for Middlesbrough in terms of staying in the Premier League?
The games at home always are important for me, because I know for me to build something, the foundations are win the games at home, and it's the thing that we did since I arrived here, and the numbers are there, so it's really important. But and we know that this season is going to be difficult every single game. Crystal Palace, they didn't start well the season, but they're experienced, they have a good manager, they have really good players, they have amazing strikers in the squad, but we have to focus ourselves and to play in our style.
Manchester Derby this weekend, the big game of the weekend in the Premier League. Knowing Jose Mourinho as you do, how much will you be looking forward to it, and how do you think he'll approach the game?
It's a big game. I think it's one of the games that everybody is expecting so far. So I like always that my friends win the game, just that they play when they play against us.
Will you be relishing the opportunity to come up against Pep again?
Sorry?
Will you be looking forward to the chance to come up against Pep again?
No, I think both of them are more than ready, but now my job is here and I have to be concentrated against Crystal Palace.
Aitor, you mentioned Callum Chambers coming in, and he adds to what looks like a very strong centre-half sort of group that you've got. With the two holding midfielders in front, is that a real strength of Middlesbrough this season, that sort of core at the back?
Yes, with Danny and Gibo and Bernardo coming really good from his injury, but for example last week without Matt in the room and without Bernardo 100%, Barragán played as a central defender. Without George, Barragán had to play as a left back, but it wasn't a problem at the moment. And with Callum we have another alternative, and not just an alternative, we have a really good alternative, and it's a good pressure for the other players.
You're going to need a strong defence against Crystal Palace as well, aren't you? Christian Benteke is signed recently, and last season they hurt a lot of teams on the counter-attack, particularly away from home. Do you think they'll try and do that again?
I think as all we play, we need to play in our organisation, because when we are organised on the pitch, it's difficult to score against us, and when we start winning the games, it's difficult to beat us. For that reason, once again, playing at home, we have to try to do the same thing that we did in the past, knowing that this season is Premier League, this season is Crystal Palace the opponent, with very good players up front, and but again, we have to think about ourselves, because we showed everybody that we are ready to stay in this league.
And although you'll be thinking about yourself, it looks like Loic Remy's out for a couple of months. Johan Kabay is a big doubt for this weekend. Does that give you a bit of a boost?
You know, when the opponent is coming without their best players, but again, sometimes it's one way can be good, but another way can be worse, because you can go to the pitch thinking that it's going to be an easy game, because they are not in a good form, and we are playing at home where our records are really good, and you go to the pitch confident, and you have to be confident after the game when you have won the game, when you have played in your way.
Do you take any interest in the league table at this stage of the season, because it looks good at the moment?
Yeah, but I think it's nice, but it's just a reflection how good the club has worked in the transfer market, and how good the players are working, and once again to show everybody that we came here to compete, and we were ready, because the last two seasons we were building the team to fight in Premier League.
And you mentioned the transfer business there, and on deadline day you signed Amana Traore, who showed flashes of his ability at Aston Villa, but how big is his potential, do you think?
Oh, has everything. He has everything, but I could understand him last season or Villa, because he's a young player, always in Barcelona Academy. So he left Spain, he left Barcelona Academy, another country, another language, another culture. So for him was difficult, and for a reason I brought him here, because I hope and I think I can bring the best from him.
And just finally, on injuries, George Friend, Victor Valdez,
all of them are ready, except James Husband and Grant Bitter. All the rest, thankfully, are okay and ready to play.
Thank you very much.
The players that have been on international duty, are they all available for selection? I'm thinking Stuani and Ramirez, especially. They've had long journeys this week.
Yes, they are arriving tomorrow, and they played Gaston almost full game last game, and Christian played 20-25 minutes, and we are waiting for them. But the main thing is that both of them are not injured, so it will be my problem to check them if they are rest or they are tired, because to play that far is not easy sometimes, but the main thing is that they are not injured.
And we talked about Palace, just a point on the board. But do you think they're a much stronger prospect now than they were, in the first 2-3 games of the season?
Of course, because now when the games are going and you have just 1 point and you need to to add points, you know that you have to add points as soon as possible, and they are going to come trying to do everything to add those points. But again, we have to keep working and to keep going in our way, and just to focus once again in our game.
Thank you.
Aitor, can I just ask you about Callum Chambers again? Does he come here with something to prove, do you think?
I think he's coming here to help us. I brought him here to help him because, again, at the end of the season, the main thing is that we can stay in Premier League and Callum can come back to Arsenal as a better player. So always the marks are at the end, and for a reason I think the mark will be good because, again, he's a good player. He's coming us to help us to put pressure on different players and as a really good alternative for me.
But is it almost a fresh start for him after a difficult end to last season, maybe?
Yes, but again, sometimes, and I have a lot of players and a lot of experience with players who came here and maybe he didn't play the games that they expected to play, but after coming here, they came back to their clubs, living an amazing experience, improving, and so sometimes it's true that you have to play a lot of games, but sometimes players who didn't play here went to other places, came back to their clubs as a better player. So, and it's the same thing when we send players on loan.
You talked about the selection headache you might have now. Does that bring its own problems in trying to keep a big group of players happy when some of them won't be able to play?
Yes, but it's my job. It's the most difficult thing to try to have all of them not happy, because I don't want players in my team who are not playing and they are happy, because always when you are not playing you have to be upset and you have to be always trying to play, but it's my job, and for the reason when I sign players, I sign good players and good people to try to explain them why they are not playing and why they are playing.
When you look back at the first 3 games, would you have taken 5 points from those 3 games when you first started out?
I don't know, because we knew that we had 3 important games, and for the reason we needed to have the squad as soon as possible. We knew that games like West Brom, Sunderland, maybe not the Stoke, but all of them were our rivals in the league, and for the reason to have now to be on the table with 5 points is really important for us. But I don't have to forget, because now it's Crystal Palace, another 3 points, and now we are in a really good position. But in 1 week, 2 weeks, everything can change. So for reason we have to forget the past, we have to focus the following game, and then the next one, and then the next one.
So, I mean, basically you almost have to start again after the international break, as if it were the start of the season.
Yes, I think everybody had a sign to be in the table unbeaten and with 5 points, and no 5 points or unbeaten, especially with the performances and with the quality and everything that we show with everybody.
Just finally, can I ask you about Christian Benteke as a player who's perhaps had tough times in his career, but at his best he's a very dangerous player?
Yes, he's played at Liverpool, he's a Belgian national team player, he's an amazing player, but I have another amazing players in my team, so I prefer to think about my players. Thank you.
Thank you.